Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to have a look at installing SQLite, and then we're going to chat about reasons to use SQLite versus other software such as MySQL, etc, etc. So let's have a look at downloading SQLite. Okay, so installing the software is really simple. Simply go to SQLitebrowser.org, check out the link in the description, then go to download. The file is very small, I think about 250 KB, and most of you will either be on a 64-bit Windows machine or the Mac. So I would suggest don't bother doing the zip file, just the standard install 64-bit if you're on a Windows machine, or further down if you go to the DB browser for SQLite for the Mac OS, and then click there, and that should download absolutely fine. And then just click on the file to install the file. Very small, very easy to download. Just make sure you get the site right, because there's a few sites that you can waste your time on with the wrong version, etc, etc. So why SQLite? The reason why I use SQLite is basically because it is easy to install and easy to use. And when I'm teaching a lot of students, I don't want them to have issues with installing. Previously, I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to get other software such as MySQL installed on different platforms, and eventually done it, but it can be hard work. And for small projects, SQLite is absolutely fine. I've used this site, which is quite a good site, which gives a few comparisons, which I'll just talk through now. So I'll just scroll through these. I won't mention them all, but I'll scroll through the ones which I think are most appropriate for this. For a start, MySQL, Access, etc. They're great SQL editors if it's a server-based, if you're web-based, if you're on a network. If you don't need to be, then SQLite is absolutely fine if you're running it from one machine. Next. Okay, the size of the file doesn't make much difference, but SQLite is very small. Other files such as Access and MySQL here, 600 meg versus the 250 KB size of SQLite. One of the drawbacks to SQLite is the data types that it supports. So it doesn't support many data types. However, for small projects, this has never been a problem for me. Okay, next, looking at SQLite can only manage one connection at a time. So multiple people can access it, but not at the same time. If you're growing your database, then something like MySQL would be better. MySQL, if it's an organization, then yes, sure. For small individual projects, then SQLite is absolutely fine. Again, here it's just saying supporting user management, and then we move on to the formats. Doesn't make much difference. Okay, and this is reiterating that programs such as MySQL are highly scalable, can handle large volumes of data, whereas SQLite, okay, we're just using this as a smaller platform. One of the good things here, if you learn how to use SQLite and the language behind it, then you can use MySQL. It's just a bigger program, a more powerful program. Okay, so authentication methods. MySQL has many different authentications and levels of user access, whereas SQLite is simply one level of user access with no authentication methods. Okay, this was a big reason to use SQLite, is setting up something like MySQL took a long time and was problematic in configuring, whereas SQLite, it's install and go. It's really, really simple. So I think this site picks up some good key differences between two pieces of software, and basically I think if you're doing a small project, if you want to learn Python, if you want to learn back-end databases, then I would certainly start with something like SQLite for ease of use, ease of install, and I think it does everything you need for small projects.